Welcome to the 10th episode of Ultimate Overview, a show where we go over each item in Fortnite and explain its strengths, weaknesses, and its role in the game today. My name is Jackson, and in today's episode we're going to talk about the slow-firing heavy hitter this game and its fans can't live without, the pump shotgun. On release, the pump shotgun came in common and uncommon, dealing 90 and 95 damage with a headshot multiplier of 2.5 times. This meant that both rarities could deal over 200 damage in a single shot, though this was sort of balanced out by the fact that the pellet spread on the pump was wildly inconsistent. So even if you were 2 meters away and lined it up perfectly with the head, you could still only deal like 7 damage. Another thing was that the pump had almost no damage fall off and the same range as assault rifles, meaning that you could sometimes shoot at someone way off in the distance and still deal a bit of damage. The range issue would be addressed in update version 1.8.2, giving it a max range of 41 meters, though there was still a new issue becoming quite popular. Now, if you're smart, you may have noticed that the pump shotgun's equip time is much faster than its time between shots. Because of this, it was actually better to carry 2 pumps at close ranges than to carry 1 and suffer with the slow fire rate. This strategy was called double pumping and directly led to one of the harshest nerfs in this game's history. From update version 3.40 to 5.00, the pump would go from a double pumping powerhouse able to one-shot at any range to something a bit fairer. These updates would nerf the pump to deal 80 and 85 damage in uncommon and rare variants, and nerf its headshot multiplier to 2 times. This meant that one pump with any rarity was no longer possible. Very disappointing for pros, but much appreciated by everyone else. A big nerf though was that shotguns now had a 1-second delay between firing and swapping to them. This shotgun delay would later be adjusted in Season 9 to only apply when switching from shotgun to shotgun, but the effect was that double pumping was now slightly slower than waiting for the shotgun to pump. Fortunately for you pump lovers, the fall of double pump did lead to the rise of 2 new strategies, Pump SMG and Pump Deagle. Pump SMG, as the name implies, involves chaining together the high damage of a pump shotgun and the high DPS of a submachine gun. Unlike double pump, this is a strat that still sees much use today, though many times a high fire rate assault rifle will take the spot of the SMG. Since the pump can regularly deal over 100 damage per shot, the SMG can clean up that remaining damage since most SMGs can kill in less than a second. Pump Deagle, on the other hand, follows a similar strategy to regular double pump, instead subbing the second shotgun for a hand cannon or another similar weapon like a revolver, flintlock, hunting rifle, etc. Pump Deagle and Pump SMG can be combined into a single strategy as well, comboing the Pump and Deagle at super close ranges and using the SMG for build destruction or when you're just a bit further away. Since these weapons all complemented each other so well, it's no wonder that they all remain meta items for long stretches of time. In modern Fortnite, you won't see Pump Deagle nearly as much, though during Chapter 5 Season 3 we did see a very similar strategy emerge with the Hammer Pump and Boom Bolt. The pump shotgun is such a ubiquitous weapon that there hasn't been a single season where there hasn't been in-game in some way, shape, or form. It was in the game from the very start up until Season 9, then got unvaulted midway through that season, staying until Chapter 2 Season 3 when it was replaced by the Charge. It came back in Season 4, then got swapped for the Charge again in Season 5, then it got unvaulted again in Season 6, and stayed until Chapter 3, where it was replaced by the Striker Pump, then the Striker was replaced by the Prime, then the Prime got replaced by the Thunder, then the Thunder got replaced by the Havoc, and the Havoc got replaced by the Sharptooth, and the Sharptooth got replaced by the original pump in Season OG, then the pump was replaced by the Hammer Pump, which is the current iteration of the weapon. Here's the funny thing, nearly all of these shotguns do the exact same thing, just in slightly different ways. The Charge Shotgun requires a charge up before firing, the Striker Pump is just slightly slower but it's way more accurate, the Prime needs you to fully reload the gun to deal that heavy damage, the Thunder Shotgun has a lot of range and uses 2 shells at once, the Havoc Pump is just straight up overpowered, the Sharptooth has a lot of range again, and then the Hammer Pump is just the regular pump but worse, and it uses attachments. It's literally impossible to find a season without a pump in there at some point, which I think just goes to show the impact this weapon has on the game. And can you really blame the devs for always bringing it back? I mean, it's pretty fair as a weapon. Heavy damage, slow fire rate, slow equip time, and it combos well with a variety of weapons. It's almost perfect in its simplicity, and it works very well in both builds and zero build. The most skilled players will almost always pick up a pump over other weapons, unless we have the option of a gatekeeper, in which case, you know. On the tier list, I'm going to put the pump in A tier above the bolty. The pump is just one of those guns that you gotta have in the game, or else it just doesn't feel like Fortnite anymore. It also helps that it's just really, really good. So yeah, there's that. Anyhow, if you all enjoyed everything this video had to offer, consider subscribing because it helps out a lot. The next video in this series is going to go over the revolver, so stay tuned for that soon. I've been Jackson, and this was Ultimate Overview. Thanks, guys. Pump Deagle and Pump SMG can be combined into a single strategy as well. Comboing the Pump Deagle and Pump SMG can be combined into... The Pump Shotgun is such a ubiquitous weapon, the charge requires a charge up before firing. The Striker is slightly slower, but is more accurate, does more body shot damage. The Prime needs you to fully reload the gun to deal that heavy damage. The Thunder has a lot of range and uses 2 shells at once. The Havoc Pump is just incredibly overpowered, and the Sharp Tooth has a lot of range.